John De La O's fighting style and process comes from Vale Tudo. No?
I don't want to speak for John De La O.
Yeah, I won't speak for him, but that's the way I see it. You know, especially when you go to Mexico and you fight 6 guys in one day.
Yeah, but that's how it was back in the day, before all that sanctioning and all that.
The man fought 6 guys in one day. You know?
Yeah. So.
And the nearest hospital's over the border. You got to get over that border.
Yeah.
And I've tried to cross the border. It takes me a while. Probably because of the way I look, but, you know, it takes everybody a while these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, it's an interesting thing. So they start out there. They're in Laguna Hills. I know that Apex, you know, it went away. Adam Lynn, Russ, those guys all walk across the street, and they're learning jiu-jitsu. They're learning to throw. They're learning everything, right? Mixing it up.
Yeah.
A lot of schools start on their knees because of the potential for accidents and stuff. You know, or they start in a position, take the back, you know, things. But man, I noticed at your place, man, it's on your feet.
Yeah, a lot of times we start off with the wrestling in on the shots, you know, for a couple of rounds, and start taking each other down, then transition to the passes and then to the subs. You know, that's
and in my opinion breeds a lot of that guard pulling stuff.
Yeah. None of us are real. I mean, if you're in a fight, you're not going to be that. Right?
Yeah.
But I like it because it gives you like a creative aspect, right? It gives you a little bit of freedom. You know, if you come in the morning, everyone knows how to take each other down, right? So if they say just take each other down or in on the shots, you can kind of do whatever, right? And whatever works for me might not work for you.
Yeah, of course.
So I feel like that really helps mold us,
right,
as individuals.
It sure does. Now, did you have a wrestling background before you started MMA?
No, I started MMA just as MMA under James Lightning Wilkes.
Oh, it's down the street.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
All Laguna Hills. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I was
you go to school down there? High school?
No, I went to El Toro.
Okay, it's close enough.
I went to El Toro, and I started with James.
Yeah, I know exactly where his place is, yeah.
And then they merged with Joker.
Yes.
And so I was there.
Did they become Rain? Is that what that merging was?
Rain was still separate.
Okay.
But Rain had closed down then, and then Joker merged with Lightning, and then eventually they shut down as well.
Yeah.
And I had been going to Subfighter on Fridays for their sparring, and then I was like, man, I like these guys. My gym's closing. I'm just gonna make the transition and train with these guys.
That's smart.
Yeah.
And James Wilkes was he on The Ultimate Fighter?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where he came from. That's what it was. I remember. And then moved. But he's British or something, right?
Yeah, he's British and had moved to the U.S.
Yeah.
And then fought for the show and still represented the British.
Got it.
Okay.
Under Michael Bisping, who
That's right.
retired.
Who just retired? Yeah.
Counts.
I heard.
Yeah.
That,
I get it.
I mean,
who gets? Was it a cornea?
retina,
cornea?
detached retinas. Yeah.
There's your band name, detached.
That's right.
To the face. Yeah. I got my braces kicked off at a show. Agnostic Front. Really? Fender's Ballroom, 1986. I had braces. My dad put braces on me, and I come jumping off the stage. Non-Mexicans. It was mayhem, all because I got kicked in the face.
So how they fix your braces?
So I would say that's where my fighting career started.
Oh, that's where it started.
It's about 14. You're swinging for your life. And I was just into music. It wasn't that I went there looking for trouble, but you know.
So it's like a punk show or like a...
Agnostic Front is hardcore.
Just me and my parents and my sister, but she ended up moving back. I have a brother in Holland still as well. So just all my family's in Holland except for my parents. They're out here.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then...
But that's a huge change. So you got culture shock, man. It's cold.
It was tough for me. It was tough for me.
Right.
So what drew you to like martial arts and stuff?
I had been doing judo as a kid.
Yeah, they got a cage.
Yeah, I remember that was like, all right. That was the point where I was
Don't
like,
act like you didn't love it when we got a cage.
Yeah.
We were in a boxing ring, and all of a sudden one day we popped up with a cage. We're like, oh yeah,
it's cool.
We're up bouncing off the bed, tightening it up.
Absolutely.
We loved it too.
So I got my free weekend, and honestly, I was kind of a troublemaker. Like I felt like I was kind of lost.
I don't get that from you.
No?
But I want to hear.
No,
about
you
that.
seem super
Tell me.
mellow.
Yeah.
Well, come from El Toro.
Well, it definitely mellowed out a bit over the years, and like I feel like martial arts and MMA and just everything just kind of molded me into who I am today. And I don't know, I found role models in the gym. You know, I saw like pro fighters, they were like purple belts, and I was like, fuck, one day I'm gonna be a purple belt. You know?
That's what I thought of him.
You know?
I walk in, he's all young and he's ready to go. He's got gloves on.
Yeah.
Beats the shit out
He's
of
doing
me.
like the double jumps on the rope. I'm like, one day, you know.
Oh, dog.
You know, they're teaching people how to shoot, so I come in, pop, and I try to take him down. He's all, don't telegraph. Set it up, stupid, set it up. All the time, right? I just go for a shot.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my knee up. I can remember his exact words. I'm like, Take a break, man. I worked 10 hours and now I'm here. I'm going to go drink a Monster and a coffee and come back and kill you.
I have Alzheimer's. I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, right. That's what you want, though. Steel sharpens steel. So
Yeah, for sure.
hats off to him. That's why we're homies, because if he wasn't that tough, then nobody gets any tougher. So Miguel's the enforcer and always has been.
Excellent.
So we love that. To this day. So when they say Dondo doesn't roll, go F
That's right.
themselves.
That's right, yeah.
Man, you take an injury, you come roll
No,
over
yeah,
here
you tell
with
them, yeah.
You come over here.
They
Come
know where to
see me
find
in my
you.
place.
They know where to find you. Yeah.
So, you get over here, you're 13 years old, warm weather.
Yeah, it was nice. The weather was nice, but one thing I felt like was like I just felt lost, you know, like mentally. I'm here in paradise, you know, compared to Holland. It's rainy all the time.
Yeah.
The weather's cold.
Kind of limited on things to do if you're not on a broader spectrum of looking at Europe. Obviously, you're young, right?
Right.
So you're kind of locked into your little area. Maybe
Right.
Amsterdam's attractive, but
Yeah. Well, Amsterdam I never went to as a kid. It was like 2 hours away from
Yeah.
my spot, but I don't know. You might be in paradise, you know, but mentally, like if you're not okay mentally, or
if you're disconnected,
you
it
know,
doesn't matter where you are.
It doesn't matter where you are, and then that goes the other way around too. You know, you can find happiness in a shittier spot, right?
For sure.
You
Oh, yeah,
know, and I felt like you got to just kind of master that and be like a master of own domain. You know.
Yeah, I think that's
And for you being that young and figuring that out,
That's right.
that's you know,
Yeah.
because most kids,
it's
you
a
know,
humbling thing,
Yeah.
right?
Gave me a lot of perspective on that.
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
And this is even before you start doing anything in martial arts.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
you're pretty level-headed to already figure that out.
Absolutely.
So what were you doing when you first came over? You at the soccer field?
I play guitar.
Oh, tell me about that.
I played a lot of guitar. My brother was in a band, and I just always wanted to I always looked up to my brother, you know?
Sure.
He was always older, never really
I didn't have
wanted-
older brother. They just beat me up.
It's like the same thing. It's like the same thing. But yeah, I
It's
played...
the same thing.
Yeah,
When we
It's the
grew up,
same
it's the same thing.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Guitar and kind of hung out and tried to find my own way. I was like in 8th grade, I think, and eventually made some friends. And
So you're in 8th grade. What was good? What were you really like looking at? Because it's probably the 90s, I'm imagining.
no.
2000s?
Yeah, 2000s.
Okay, so what were you playing?
Uh,
What drew you to it?
to the guitar?
Yeah.
I don't know. The fact that my brother played and I had all this time on my hands and my mom had an old...
If you're just wonderful and great, because you're never going to grow.
Yeah, you don't want people to sugarcoat it, especially
Oh
if
yeah,
you're,
something like that. Yeah.
especially if you're fighting people.
Yeah.
Like, if you're sugarcoating it, you're doing them a disservice. You know, you
I
really
agree.
are.
You really are. Yeah.
Yeah. But Adam used to tell me, he's like, "How do you make a sword?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "You put a piece of metal in the fire, you beat the shit out of it, and if it comes out a good sword, then it's good. If it breaks, it breaks." I'm like, "All right, I never forgot that."
Yeah,
you know,
that's smart, yeah.
And triangle choke.
Yeah.
It was a good experience though. And then I started to get into.
Tell me
contact.
about the getting beat up. So you already have some skills under your belt. You get in there. You're obviously a Dutch Muay Thai guy, so you got some. You can throw, right? And you're learning some jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what did the other guy have that you didn't at that time? Because you're early, you got butterflies, right? You're nervous.
Yeah.
There's a crowd.
I think the guy was just. I fought at 35s at first.
Yeah.
I fought at 25s.
Super fast at 35s, right? Well, 25s
yeah.
even more.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. The guy was just bigger, more experienced.
Sure.
Yeah, it was Milton Arguello.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. it
know
was
that
Oh no
man.
way!
Yeah.
We
I
just
know
saw
that
him
man.
fight not too long
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
Last
yeah.
week.
No, last week at
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were cool. He's always been really cool.
I got him on
you know.
camera. Milton, nice interview. It's all good.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy that
No,
that
he's
was
a-
him.
Yeah, I know. And now I'm like, damn, this guy's big. I fought this guy.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's
People
awesome.
bulk up, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a good experience. And then I started fighting in Vegas for Tough Enough.
Yeah.
And man, I love that, you know, because they'll get you a hotel
Sure.
and like.
You feel like
man,
a king, right?
I was like 18. I was Playboy in Vegas, man. Yeah, a free
I love
buffet, you know,
Yeah,
hotel.
Can't
Yeah.
even drink, but you're loving life.
Right. I couldn't even check
No
myself
girlfriend
in.
yet?
Yeah.
Living large? I won't bring it up. I know she's watching. It's all good.
I don't remember.
But my good,
That's
good
smart.
friend here got his first fight in Vegas.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it just happened to be. Instead of Pico Rivera, he fought in Vegas.
Yeah, that's right. But mine was for King of Cage.
Okay.
Still,
Yeah.
Okay.
legit.
It's
you
still
know?
cool. Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Where was that one at?
the Cannery.
I fought for that one too.
Oh, nice,
I've done
nice.
one of
Yeah,
those.
that one's
I
cool.
love
Yeah.
it there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a
that one's
blast
cool.
there.
Was that East Side or North Side?
No, the other one, not the East Side one.
It's the
the
one up by Nellis Air Force Base.
Okay.
I don't know what the one.
That's probably the northern one.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's got like the lounge upstairs. looking
Yeah,
at-
yeah, that one.
Cool.
And
Yeah,
it's
that
kind
was-
of an
that was
indoor
cool.
outdoor venue, which I dug.
Yeah, I loved it. It had that cool, like, I guess almost like a warehousey. The whole, you
Yeah.
goes up or whatever. It has the seats, like the stadium seating.
You know,
A hanger. Thank you.
Look at
Thank
that.
you,
Producer
Jessica.
JP is always pulling in the
A
language
hanger,
for
that's
us.
right.
rooms overlooking the cage. So if you're in your room, you can actually look out your window. And see the
Yeah,
fight.
yeah, yeah.
Why did I spend $40 on this? You know?
That's awesome.
I think I snagged a ticket, but it's still.
So how many fights do you have?
I had 12 amateurs and then 2 pros.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So most of them were for Tough Enough as
Yeah.
an amateur. And then
Okay.
I actually fought it's right down here, next
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
I fought here a couple times as well. So those are most of my amateur fights.
Yeah, they do fights here. They had that kinetic energy follow through. You
Yeah,
bust somebody's face open.
Yeah.
So, and there's no glove right here. All the MMA gloves don't have.
No, they don't.
So you're protected with knuckles. And I think if you actually know how to throw a palm, you could actually pretty much knock someone out, bust some teeth out. So it's an interesting thing that combat jiu-jitsu is just taken off. And Chad George, I think, is the champ.
I believe so. Yeah.
Chad's got that right now, and I think Brian Ortega is up on things as well. I saw a picture of him and Chad together over the weekend at that Bastards. Tell me
Oh,
about
and Downey.
Bastards.
No, I didn't go.
Oh, well,
No.
invite me and then you don't go. I
I
thought we
didn't
had a team
go.
thing going.
No,
It's all
no,
good.
I
was
didn't
busy
go.
anyways,
Yeah, but
but
so was I.
Those
Some
guys were
stuff
all out
came
there.
up.
Yeah. Brian Mendez grew up with my uncle, my other uncle. So they're homies. We're going to come out and see you in San Pedro very soon. And meaning to tie it up, but you have tournaments, and then I get hooked up with another show. But if you're watching, we'll be out there.
Yep.
Ribeiro Jiu-Jitsu.
That's right.
Yeah. On Pacific? No, it's on Gaffney.
I've never
On
been
Pacific. It's where the Waters Club used to be. I don't know if
Oh,
you gentlemen
okay.
know where that is, but I've seen many a show
Yeah,
there. I went flying out of a couple 2-story buildings there. That's where everybody got their start. So Metallica played there, Sacred Reich,
Okay.
Death Angel, everybody.
So it's like an 80s club.
80s club.
Yeah, I
Well,
got
that's
you.
where I came from. So,
Yeah, it's all good.
So I
Yeah.
keep the hat on. Getting a little gray. Got to cover it up.
So your first pro fight, where was that at?
That was the Celtic Gladiator.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You brought it, man. I was there.
Yeah.
I remember.
I lost at TKO.
That's why I
loss.
started following you. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, Vanderlei.
Yeah.
Check him out. He's from Sub.
Yeah, it was a tough fight. It was good though. Good back and forth. This kid was just determined.
Yeah.
And that's what it came down to.
Speaking of Celtic Gladiator, I was shocked. So Albert brings me out. We had met in a hotel and talking the game, and he invites me out, and I was blown away. Like you've seen promotions, and sometimes fights start late. Sometimes there's a lot of cans. You just don't know what you're going to get. And I'd never heard of it, so I didn't know what to expect. But what a spectacle! You came out on the stage. The big LCD screen behind you.
Oh, nice.
Coming from Vegas fights and then doing this, it's a pretty similar transition.
Absolutely.
I was not expecting that, so I was blown away. I'm like, this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it makes people want to not only watch fights, but makes people want to fight.
Right.
Fight in this promotion.
Right.
Yeah.
They make you look good.
For sure.
They do all the social media. They send you out. Like, I got to see what you're all about. You sent out the tail of the tape and everything beforehand. So I can see who you're matched up with. Because if you don't know the fighters, there's aren't UFC fighters yet. You guys are either amateurs or pros that are just got a few fights under them. So the way he did it, it just built people up. So I continued talking to him. We actually did the broadcast. This last one, we were the broadcasters for it. So thank you, Albert Jazibek, and we are the Celtic Gladiators. So thank you to the whole crew.
Yeah.
Robert
The rest
and
of the
team.
crew.
Yeah, absolutely. And the guys at CXF, because they helped us out considerably.
Yeah, for sure.
Made it pop off. So it was really cool. It was at Burbank. Did you go?
No.
Burbank Marriott?
I didn't go to the last one.
Yeah, it was cool. So there's another event coming up, Brave 13. Is that Manchester or in Belfast, Jessica? Belfast, Ireland is Brave 13 coming up in June. So if you want to fly me out there to cover things, you fly me out there. I'm ready. Whatever we got to do. Or Manchester in September. I'm down for Manchester.
That's right. Anywhere.
Wherever we got to go. Which, it's 8:30, Jessica. We'd like to switch over. We're going to talk about your Europe trip because, I want to know.
Sure.
Inquiring minds want to know it. Eric goes over to Europe and he trains, and I love people that train while they're on vacation.
Absolutely.
I get tanked and then I go and get up at Quincy School or something.
Yeah.
Carve my path through there.
That's right.
Miguel says, "You smell like my dad." What the hell does that mean? Your dad's an alcoholic? Yes.
Like, yes. But, technique of the week.
Technique of the week, Eric Vanderlei is going to bring us over into the mini dojo where I do my business. He's going to bring to you a special technique that was taught to him by Joker. I'm going to let him announce that when we get over there, but he's already kind of ran over it with me. Doesn't mean it's not going to be painful. Doesn't mean I'm not going to make thunder, because when I fall backwards on that thing, on that mat, you're going to hear an earthquake. But Jessica, can we take it from here and schedule over there? Right on. We're ready
Let's
to
do
go.
it. Let's walk
Miguel,
over there.
If you could tell people about CMMA, the outreach
for sure.
in the community.
Yeah.
And we'll get prepared. Go ahead and change. Cool.
Let's go.
We're cool.
Yep. So this was, I believe, 2 Sundays ago, our good friends over at CMMA Southgate hosted, in particular, Mike Hermosillo hosted a community workshop over in the city of Watts. You know, he did run down basically the whole agenda of what you know, he was trying to you know, what he was trying to do. And basically the gist of it is you know, it's just trying to keep kids, you know, out of trouble, trying to involve them more in something more proactive, as opposed to, you know, hitting the street or, you know, whatever, just getting in trouble all the time. So with that said, how Dondo had mentioned that, you know, most of these inner city areas are primarily, you know, boxing, kind of a place, you know, mostly you'd rarely see any form of grappling, in particular like jiu-jitsu. So it was just kind of not so much a whim, but just, you know, hey, let's all get together, bring some mats, we'll lay them all out, and we'll just roll. So that's exactly what we did. It was a nice overcast Sunday. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I'll continue on when they come back. We'll transition over to Dondo.
We're good.
So I'm gonna go with the overhand.
Yep.
Bang! I'm setting it up with the overhand, right?
Yep.
Bang! Getting him to think it. Then I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna throw it. Sell it. Bang! Straight to the pass.
Ouch.
Kidnap.
That shook the building.
So, this is Eric Vanderlee from Subfighter MMA, and he's going to show you one more time, much to my dismay.
All right, guys.
Taught to him by Joker,
Yeah.
Mike Guyman. We're going to do the Kidnapper.
Kidnapper, guys. Off the overhand. Boom.
Yep.
I sell it again. Coming across. Pass.
Very good.
Straight to side control.
All right. If you're interested, check my man out. Again, Subfighter MMA. You can find them on, obviously, on the web. Vanderleicious, is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
On Instagram.
Vanderleicious.
And then your class at the Taekwondo studio in Laguna.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I teach Monday, Wednesday, 6:15 at Cho's Academy in Laguna Beach. Anyone's welcome. All skill levels are welcome. Come on through. We got a free week.
Come learn the Kidnapper from the man himself.
Yes, sir.
We're going to transition back to the studio, and thank you.
Thank you.
You know?
Yeah, thanks for wearing your shorts.
You're welcome. You all right? Your Uncle Sal was worried about you.
We practice takedown, so...
He was going to go get a wheelchair for you.
When you see 200 pounds of burrito flying through the air, I position myself on the mats that are really, really thick, so the fall is no big deal. But if I fell on one of those other mats, I might be a cripple at the moment.
Wow.
But it's all good. Yep.
Solid move, though.
I did forget
you
my
know?
leg. We're good to go. We're going to wait for Eric to get back in here, but...
Yeah, real quick, sorry, I was going over the CMMA thing. So yeah, basically, I was mentioning, you know, we just basically just laid out the mats on a little patch of grass and we rolled. You know, and yeah, we caught curious eyes. You know, people were, what the hell are they doing? You know,
Yeah.
Someone who's not familiar with it or, you know,
true.
didn't know what's going on. So they stopped, they asked, we talked to them about it. Hey, this is what we're doing. You know,
Cholo Joe.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu, whatever. You know, check it out. You know, they have kids, bring them on by. So
Yes.
again, the plan is to hit up, you know, a few different inner city parks and just do our thing. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know?
So if you're looking for that event, check out CMMA Fitness, CMMA Southgate, and then
Or check in with us, you know.
Yeah, check out the Gym Crashers. We'll post it. Producer JP is all over that stuff.
And honestly, they've since we've met, since we've actually gotten, you know, hooked up with those guys,
Yeah,
they've been
yeah.
nothing but like super cool.
Yeah,
You know,
some people you
homies
do
to
business
us,
with,
you know.
but other people become your friends and homies.
Yeah,
and
and that's them.
They're part of the familia.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
We
for
roll
sure.
with them, we throw with them. They're cool.
Yeah, hands down. Yeah.
Like my man here, Eric Vanderlee, just threw me across the room. So again, nothing but love for all the Subfighter guys because
Yeah,
they throw
that's
hard,
right.
they throw often,
Sir.
they don't back up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We work hard.
That's right.
And to an extent, they're all a expansion of all of us too.
That's right.
You know,
That's right. And
through John Delo, through Chris Brennan, through
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris Brennan, Next
Yeah.
Generation.
Yeah.
Right?
It's funny, yeah. You should talk about that. Tell us how all that kind of blends together, you know, because John was here. I know from early 90s, I walk into Kleber's place, and there's only two guys in Orange County that I know of where you're going to learn to throw like that. It was Kleber and John.
Yeah. To be honest, I mean, I'm not too sure as far as their connection. I just know, you know, they both trained with each other for a long time. I would say maybe throughout the 90s, and
Yeah. So out of the South County guys, that's where Chris came from, and then from Chris came Jeremy and Apex.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think that's the connection. You're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, like I said, they're all an expansion of.
Yeah.
We're all.
It's interesting in that as we get around and we gym crash, even though we're gym crash live tonight, we brought Sub Fighter MMA to you. We get out and visit people, and it's an interesting thing that people are entwined. Like now, Lightning and Sub Fighter, you got different people obviously from that one place,
Right.
and from Rain,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on down there,
Right.
and probably from Marco Huas too, because he probably only does privates now, if at all.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like all the techniques I learned are all kind of regurgitated things that everyone takes from another source, and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we're all learning the same
Yeah.
thing.
And whether it's just a different style.
Right.
Just.
Well, it's an evolution, I think, of what came. So we all watched Hoist do his thing, and nobody knew what he was doing, so he caught people.
Right.
Yeah.
And how it's changed from that day until now is
Yeah.
just enormous.
Or how, like you had mentioned earlier, it might work for you a certain way, but it doesn't work for the next person. So
that's
all you do is just tweak it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a different flavor.
That's
It's
it.
still top ramen.
It's still
It's just a different flavor.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
No, I agree 100%. And there's a lot of time, especially when you're going, if you're doing 5 to 7 days a week, or if you're doing 1 or 2 classes a day on top of it, you're grinding, you're constantly grinding, and there's things that will never work for you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And there's things will come right away.
Absolutely.
Right? For sure. But one day, if you try it again and again and again after your 50th year of trying it, all of a sudden you sink it and you're like, oh, that's what that was, right?
Yeah.
And it might just be a centimeter that you
Right.
changed.
Yeah.
And then bam, you got it.
And you nailed it. Yeah, for sure.
It's a strange thing how technique works that way.
Yeah, definitely.
But don't lose things. I think just keep them going. And they say that you lose more than you actually learn once you get higher belts because you're moving on. You leave behind. So what I like to say is, there's people say, I'm open-minded, I'm closed-minded, whatever it is they say. It's kind of, I like to think of it as being filter-minded. You filter in stuff and out with the bad and with the good, right? You got to filter it.
Yeah.
You can't just be open-minded.
course.
You take in everything. You're going to get brainwashed.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of people that do. You get suckered into the world,
Yeah.
and they'll sell you all kind of snake oil.
Pretty much. But I mean, I
learn.
think anybody with just a decent brain will
Yeah.
filter it out.
Well, that's the thing that when you're talking about shaping a sword, the harder you go, there's no alternative. The truth will reveal itself, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if somebody punches you in the face, you learn to put the hand up and turn it.
Yes.
Right? Take the edge off it. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So there's truth in that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or even footwork, and you're out of the way.
Yeah.
Or a combination of the two. So yeah, all the fundamentals are there. Getting back to your fight history. So again, you fought Celtic Gladiator, and then you fought KO after that.
No, after Celtic Gladiator, I fought for CXF.
Oh, it was.
Oh, nice. Okay. When was this?
Sportsman's Lodge.
Yes.
That's such a
Lodge.
cool venue.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to do it anymore because
Really?
it's low ceiling or something. I don't know.
So they're doing it at the Burbank
Burbank
Marriott.
Oh.
Which is legit and
So
beautiful.
both Celtic and CXF are
yes.
doing them there now.
Yes, George has kind of a little bit of control in both. So
Okay. Nice.
working with Albert, but yeah, those Sportsman Lodge battles were cool.
Yeah.
And that's a historic venue for people that live in LA and like historic buildings like I do. I'm an architecture guy, so Jessica and I, we can look at buildings all day and drive downtown while this guy drinks beer, which is funny. or we crash a cemetery. It's like, what are we doing here? I hear him yelling at me all day. Didn't we go?
I don't know. I don't do 7. Well, they're all right, I
But
guess.
Sportsman's
They're all right.
Lodge is one of the. You had fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
We did the Hollywood, not Hollywood Forever. What was our cemetery? Forest Lawn. We saw
Forest Lawn,
We
yeah.
saw Ronnie James Dio,
Oh,
Lucille
cool.
Ball.
I like Dio.
Oh, Lemmy. We saw Lemmy's grave, right?
Yeah,
That's big
for
for
sure.
me. So that was cool. But the Sportsman's Lodge is one of those buildings, and it has been there 150 years. I don't know how long exactly. But it's historic. So to have fights there is kind of cool.
Right. They got all the ponds and everything.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I dig that place. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice. Okay.
it's cool that they did that. But yeah, Burbank Marriott's
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's the joint.
It's a joint. Yeah. Yeah.
You walk outside and get tacos. I'm always happy with that. You know?
So I actually want to hear about your Euro trip.
Okay.
So
So hang on. So you got the fights, and in the midst of all this, you take off to Europe with your chick.
Yes.
Is your chick Dutch too?
No.
What is she? She's mixed.
Yeah, she's mixed.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's from Northern California.
Right on.
Um,
That's a whole other state, in case you're wondering. Miguel won't even go there.
yeah, so I don't know. I like to go. I try to go once a year to visit my family.
LM?
Yeah, KLM is nice. Yeah, I go with them, but yeah, I like to go once a year if I can financially and see how things are working out. You know, whenever my lease ends, I always sign the lease for a year, and then boom, when it ends, I go.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good plan.
Yeah.
So this last one, I noticed that you trained too while you were there. Was
Mm-hmm.
it Muay Thai?
So the time before that, I stayed at Mike's gym for 4 weeks, which is a really high level kickboxing gym. I think it's one of the best.
Oh, okay.
Those guys are
Yeah,
killers.
yeah,
Yeah.
those guys are. And it was just a different experience, you know? And
It'll break you down.
Yes.
Doing that type of fighting at that level will break your bones down.
yeah,
You know, you're not gonna have a long career.
yeah.
Those guys are savages.
That was tough for me, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
And I actually ended up in a regular gym. I was lifting with one of my brother's friends, and I met some dude in the sauna, which is kind of weird, but he's like, hey,
Tell us about the sauna. No,
yeah. I'll tell you
know.
everything, man. It's a long story.
I don't want to know.
No, but this dude trains at a gym called Cops Gym. And I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. He's like, yeah, we're sparring tomorrow. And I was leaving in 2 days. And this is my trip before the last one, right? Without my girlfriend. And I went there, and it's an MMA gym, and Musasi trains out of there.
Oh, nice.
And I loved the vibe. I made a lot of friends there. Like, I didn't feel like the environment was as hostile.
Sure.
You know, and so when I came back with my girlfriend, that's where I trained.
Right on.
And
Where's that one at?
It's in Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam
yeah,
proper.
Yeah. So that's an MMA gym. The main guy is a wrestler, you know, and I like that gym. I'm gonna go back there probably when I get back.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So
Nice,
where's your
man.
town at? North of Amsterdam? What's
where,
it called?
Where I grew up,
Yeah.
it was called Hoesbeek, and
Okay.
it was a small little village. Well, like village, little town.
Sure.
But it was on the east side of Holland, maybe 10 minutes from Germany.
Well, my mom was born in Ebergen, so it's near Hamburg.
Okay.
You could walk over the border into Hamburg, so that's where they brought
Wow,
it. Yeah.
okay. Nice. Yeah, I remember as a kid we used to drive over the German border,
Yeah.
get like some illegal fireworks or
Oh,
even
yeah.
cheaper gas.
Nice.
Yeah, we used to get cheaper gas
Yeah.
in Germany.
We do that too, but instead of Germany, it's Mexico.
Yeah.
You know, we just drive over there and get illegal
Yes.
stuff.
And STDs.
It's just the
thing.
gift that
Same
keeps
thing.
on giving.
Yeah, that's right.
That's cool, man. Right on.
There were no borders there at one time. You could just cross.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
especially after World War II. Those are something that came later. You know, you didn't have to worry about those kind of things. But
Yeah.
now,
Yeah. But okay, so it was an MMA gym, and then so were you just doing primarily the stand up or?
Yeah, I took a little bit of everything, you know.
Okay.
Sometimes I did the MMA sparring. Sometimes I took a couple straight wrestling classes, a couple boxing classes.
so how's their wrestling? Roman Greco style?
Because I was gonna say you don't hear a lot of Dutch wrestlers. you know?
Yeah.
Never.
You really
Just
don't.
Dutch Muay Thai, man.
Yeah. They had good wrestling,
Yeah.
pretty decent wrestling, but the thing is, everyone's big. Everyone's
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah,
I didn't
okay.
even. I mean, I trained in the same room as Musasi, but I'm not gonna say I actually trained with him because this guy's huge, man.
It's a large race of people,
Yeah.
right? Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow,
And
okay.
They all look like Dolph
yeah.
Lundgren.
I'm a
you know,
125er,
Rocky.
you know, like that. It's tough, and then when I get in the cage with the actual 125er, I'm like, oh, he's not that strong, but he's fast.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's a whole
And
other game.
It's different. Yeah.
Change speeds.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Did you mix it up at all? Bring it to the ground, or just kind of stay on your feet over
yeah,
there?
I like to do everything.
Yeah.
You know, I really feel like I'm an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
I started in an MMA gym. I feel it's like an equal playing field for me all around. You know, yeah.
Yeah, you're a part of a generation where that exists now. In the past, especially when it first started, there would be disciplines. You would have a really good boxing pedigree, or you'd have jiu-jitsu or wrestling, whatever it may be, and then you learn a couple other things like how to throw elbows and punches,
Yeah.
and they would win fights. But now you're a part of a world thinking right man, stepping into the game that MMA has always been around.
Right.
You know, you knew it when you went into the game that it was called mixed martial arts.
Yes.
It was even after the Volutudo days.
They provide everything under one roof.
Yeah, a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
So at Wilkes, was it that way? Was it a
was that way.
specific jiu-jitsu coach, a specific Muay Thai coach? How did it work?
We did have that, but James was the main MMA guy.
Yeah.
And,
And
yeah.
that's how Adam is at your place.
Yeah.
He teaches
Yeah,
just that.
The MMA, yeah. I mean, you're gonna train the individual arts,
Yeah.
right? You're gonna have a jiu-jitsu class, you're gonna have a wrestling, you're gonna have an MMA class where they combine everything. You're gonna have a boxing class, kickboxing. But yeah, at the end of the day, everything's equal, right?
Yeah,
for
yeah.
for me at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, Adam is one of the only other guys that I've seen, even lately, where they throw on the 4-ounce gloves and throw punches while they're rolling. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I don't see that very often. It's
Yeah.
cool.
That's cool.
Nothing. I mean, Miguel does it every day, but
I try to now.
yeah. He's the first person to punch me in the face while I'm trying to pass guard. And I said, don't ever do that again.
He's like, it's different. huh?"
He's all, you might want to keep moving then.
Yeah,
What can I
that's
say?
awesome. We usually start doing that whenever someone has a fight coming up. You know, they're getting closer to fight time. Then we start to glove up on the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
We still do regular jiu-jitsu. You know,
Sure.
yeah. But
So fight camp.
Yeah, fight camp.
Everything gears up for fight
Yeah,
camp.
so whoever's fighting, they always get more rounds. We always kind
course.
of revolve around that person.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And sometimes you guys got multiple fighters. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So you got a guy coming up right now, and it's King of the Cage on June 10th.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name again? Free Love?
Andrew Freelove.
Free Love. That's a cool name. It's a
Yeah.
porn star name.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
My porn star name is Johnny Punani. That's what they call me. If I'm in Mexico, then it's Juan Jeremy.
Or in Germany.
We'll keep it G-rated, Mr. Vanderlee. But yeah, Mr. Free Love's down there in, where's the fight at? Citizens Bank Arena?
Citizens Business Bank.
Right on. So that's a cool spot. Shout out to Mike Lowe. We'll be coming to that fight. Thank you so much for always hooking
Yes,
us
sir.
up, buddy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just saw him at an event at Surf Dogs Huntington Beach. So always representing King of the Cage. We always see him out. So he's a cool dude, the promoter.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And there's simultaneous 3 fights on any given night for King of the Cage. So whenever I see Mike and he's sitting down on a Saturday night and we're having a pizza and a beer, he might have a phone call from one guy, and they're in 3 different states or different countries. So the King of the Cage company is expanded. I know that Shamrock's down there in South Africa doing King of the Cage. And then they're in Europe.
Jeez.
They were in Lithuania doing King of the Cage. Lithuania is, Eastern Bloc. I don't know how they throw over there. I've seen some of the wars.
They throw blocks at you.
I saw what happened in the Ukraine, so I'm starting to wonder,
Yeah.
But have you went that far, or just Holland,
Yeah.
Belgium?
Yeah. I actually trained in Berlin as well.
Oh, yeah?
I did one day at the Golden Glory gym in Berlin.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
It was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. They tried to tell me, "Are you sure you want to spar? They're gonna try and knock you out." And I was like, all right, fuck it,
Yeah.
And I
Is there a
stayed.
rivalry between the Dutch and the Germans? Not really.
No.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Whatever. Yeah.
Just soccer, maybe.
Yeah. Of course,
soccer,
of
it's
course.
So, are you? Obviously, you're bilingual.
Mhm.
Are you trilingual? Could you speak? Or how many languages can you
Is
speak?
there a Surinamese, or is it just a dialect?
They have a dialect.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know much of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was dating a girl from South Africa, and they speak Afrikaans, which is basically
yeah,
Dutch.
It's
They're
Dutch.
throwing
With,
it
yeah,
at you. a
I
little
could
twist
probably
to it.
understand it, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I
the
don't
Dutch are
really-
everywhere, dude. It's got
Yeah.
the British, right?
Right.
They colonized, everywhere in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
I see that look you're giving me.
Yeah, well.
I'm gonna give it right back to you.
It's all good.
I felt that joke. We'll talk about it later. I know you held back on me.
I did.
It's all good. It's an inside thing. It'll get outside soon.
So what's next for you, dude?
Right now, I'm working on getting another fight.
You hear
Maybe-
that?
hopefully-
Tony, Spar Stars, this guy's looking for a fight.
Hopefully July 7th. My manager was working on CXF for July 7th.
Right on.
But
That's coming up, yeah.
Adam's out of town. My main coach is
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
town,
yeah.
so we're probably gonna skip that one. Look for the next best opportunity.
Okay.
I stay
Trying to
ready.
think.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't really know if there's any. I pay my manager, so
Yeah.
I let him do his thing.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. 135?
25.
25.
25. Wow. Okay. Cool.
Where do you walk around at? 145? Ish?
At most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back from Holland, you're like 150?
Yeah. I never. Honestly, I never get over 46.
That's good.
Yeah, but sometimes I'll wake up 38. I'm like, all right.
All right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, Miguel was a chunker, and then he fought and kept it pretty good for thereafter.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's all back then. No, I'm kidding.
I figure if it comes off once, twice, whatever.
What did you fight at, Miguel?
45.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was a skeleton of his former self.
Yeah.
He
Because
was
before
all
I
sunken
didn't.
in. He looked like he just got here.
I don't. I know this guy. Well, fuck you, dude.
He was hungry.
I don't really make an effort to stay on.
The weigh-ins, because we got up there, and it must have been 8 o'clock at night. You'd been
I was starving. I
was
actually.
starving, and I was in a car, and I looked at you and went, I feel really bad.
I actually. I was on weight the night before already.
You're ready to go.
Yeah, I was actually 143 the night before, right? So I went a full just about 24 hours without eating.
For nothing.
Yeah,
And what did you go to? Peanut butter jelly?
peanut butter and jellies.
Is that really
Yeah,
serious?
yeah.
I totally guessed that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's good,
I
though.
like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
You got the carbs and then
The
the
carbs,
sugar.
the sugar, yeah.
That's interesting.
And just, a giant thing of water and some Pedialyte, and that's all
Did
she wrote.
producer JP have that in her back pocket, or did somebody have to go hunt that down?
No, I mean, we got it all ready to go. I had it
so
all
you knew.
laid out.
That's
yeah,
smart. It's
It's
always
all laid.
smart.
It's all laid out. Yeah. So.
Because I think I ate Olive Garden. I ate mine, and then somebody else had a meal that they didn't finish. Some skinny guy that we used to hang out with. I'm like, hand that over. She only took 2 bites. I'll take the rest of it.
Yeah. Well,
I powerhouse the whole thing.
Yeah.
How about you, my friend? After you make weight, what's that go to? Lumpias?
Yeah, I like to go to Mother's Market.
Nasi goreng. What
yeah,
is it?
Mother's Market's good. I like sweet potatoes. Get my
Oh, hell
complex
yeah.
carbs. So
Nice.
sometimes I put some jam on for the sugars as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I'm kind of on the same stuff as you. Yeah, I try to stay healthy. Take some creatine, protein shake.
Protein, yeah,
I
that's
like
cool.
the Pedialyte, obviously.
Yeah.
I also fluids. Make sure I pee again.
Yeah, yeah,
Once
yeah,
I pee again,
yeah.
I know my body's working properly again.
Believe it or not, actually, I felt I was
It's a
actually
fact.
more thirsty than hungry. You know,
For that 24
Ah,
hours.
that
I believe
24
it,
hours.
yeah.
Yeah. Because it was like right away, like I just wanted to pound the whole like Pedialyte.
right,
You
and
know,
it's too much, and then you
It's
kinda-
too much,
yeah.
and you're just kind of like, and then then slowly start doing the water.
Yeah.
You'll go a lot longer with water.
Yeah.
In your system.
Yeah.
You need it more. You can go without food. But you cannot go without water.
No, because even that, the car ride on the way over there, because drove
Oh,
to
and-
Vegas,
and
and
I
that
know
kind
how
of
car
sucked. 'Cause I
rides
was
with
just
you
like
are.
trying to chew, like I was chewing like stick after stick after stick of gum, So it was like,
You're like spitting.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I'm glad I
But
wasn't in that car.
I just try to sleep. I was just trying to sleep. That's it,
Yeah.
But what's like your process for cutting? Like, do you cut weight or do you just try to diet your way?
I feel like there's a balance.
Okay.
For me, like I try to, I don't know. Through diet, I think I can get up to 131, and then the last day I just cut the last 4 or 5 pounds.
Oh, that's smart.
5, 6. Yeah. So I always try to keep a balance between. Like,
Yeah, for sure. Because
Yeah.
that was actually the goal as well. I dieted down to like about 50, and I mean I was fortunate that all I had to, if that, cut was like 4 or 5 pounds.
We were all sitting. It might have
That's cool,
I've
you
been
know?
seeing Jessica's face in the audience. I think she's about ready to throw punches in the audience. Her husband's in there throwing out.
Your whole crew afterwards,
That's
and
right.
just,
There was a-
regardless of the outcome,
Yeah.
just
If you're
kinda do your own
healthy,
thing.
yeah, do your
pretty
thing.
much,
We
yeah.
ended up at Twin Peaks, and somebody goes, "The bill's $600." I'm all. I was down the strip. Dollars too. Who spent $600?
No, dude.
Twin Peaks.
I train all the time, man. Like I stay ready. I just got to find the right opportunity.
That's right.
The right promotion. Good fight,
Yeah, for sure.
Good
Something that
fair
makes
fight.
sense to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something. I just need to gain my momentum back.
Yeah.
On the professional level. Until then, I'm gonna keep improving, keep learning.
Smart.
Yeah, I feel I've been.
This is more. Yeah, you're
Man,
right.
Like
yeah.
I can grind all day, all night. These last 2 fights that I lost, man, I work hard. I work hard as fuck.
No, I know.
Yeah, no,
and
we
then
believe it.
and sometimes it's like it just doesn't pay off, and sometimes less is more. Maybe I don't know. It's a trial and error for me. I'm a young guy, 22 this, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
onto
yeah.
You're all
you're
thanks.
onto
You're
I'm
something.
going to teach that.
Yeah. I'm like, no, that's wrong. And then
No,
they're like,
no.
Yeah.
That's funny, but yeah, that's how innovation starts, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody
Yeah.
finds a way.
Right, you got to stay open-minded to all sources, right?
Sure.
Even some kid that you just taught this move to, he might be on something,
For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, having a judo background, and we didn't talk about this much, coming up on the clock, but it's an interesting base in that leverage plays a role, and your stance plays a different role, more so than, if I see karate guys and their attack is different. They're a wider stance, they come in and they're out. See, Machida do it all the time. In judo, you get a hold of someone. There's no distance.
Yeah.
You want to close the distance.
Right.
You get a hold of them, and any grip you got, there's counter steps and balances.
Right.
The throw might go forward, but you're throwing this way.
Right.
Just from working with guys like, Anaconda, you think, if you got like something very simple like a head mark, right? They counter, and all of a sudden you're going backwards. The judo guys really study that. They know how to counter in mid-throw.
Right.
So you might already have the guy, and somehow they counterbalance and they got you. So I think having that judo background is something that I don't see a lot of. It's super important.
Right. I really like to play off that a little bit more. I've kind of been looking for like a no-gi judo kind of thing, but I don't know. I haven't really found anything.
Yeah.
If you guys know anything.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Definitely know some good places to go for that. And then sambo too. That's a whole other world.
Nice.
So they integrate those kinds of things. Very violent. Fedor says it all.
Real quick, so your last couple fights, as far as like going through your diet and all that, was it primarily plant-based? Everything? Okay.
Yeah.
So what was like your meals consisting of?
So I have a very particular thing I do my last week where I start at like 138, 139, and then I have target weights for every
That's
day.
smart. Yeah,
For
yeah,
every,
yeah.
For
For
every
sure.
day I
Yeah.
have a target weight, and most of it's like leafy green vegetables.
Okay.
Lots of hemp seeds. It's a
Oh,
good
nice.
source of
Okay.
protein that
Sure.
doesn't weigh me down. I have like a oats in the morning, like a raw oats.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like a vegan yogurt kind of thing
Yeah.
with like acai juice. Yeah, that's what I do. And then
Really, you don't like him?
I love oats.
Oh, you know,
Do you eat them over?
I'm stuck on an island with Tom Hanks. I'll
He'll eat them, but he'll throw like
Do a
bacon
volleyball.
juice in it. You know,
You know?
like he'll pour bacon juice on
That's
it.
right.
Low cholesterol.
Yeah.
You like oats?
Actually,
Yeah, no, I love oats.
he,
Yeah,
he likes
of course,
oats, man.
yeah. No, really?
Yeah.
I put walnuts and raisins and a little bit of cinnamon.
Okay.
You gotta keep it straight.
I'd have
Otherwise
to
I'll
try
be in the
your
hospital.
hemp
I'm
seed
watching it
because,
these days.
like you said, if it doesn't weigh you down, that's actually
Well,
better.
it's
'cause-
protein too.
Yeah.
Well, even in the morning, like I did
A Danish.
no, okay, you're right. I did
Don't let him
like
fool you, Mr. Oreo.
no, I didn't
He's
say
over here.
now. I said I was telling him during his fight camp.
I know.
You know, I would do like you said, leafy greens, and then maybe some Greek yogurt.
Okay.
And you know some protein or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, at times it feel like you know what I mean, like it was a little too heavy, and that's all I would do.
It's
you know,
so
as far
smart
as,
because you have to remember you're depleting your body of all of its resources because you're shedding weight. Okay, if you don't have probiotics in your system, if you're not eating Greek yogurt or something of that nature, kombucha or something like that,
Oh, yeah. No.
you're gonna get sick.
Right.
This
ACV.
flight's out the window.
I like apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, that's good too.
It
It's
makes
so
me.
hard to drink. Jesus.
But yeah, I dilute it with water. I don't mind it. You know, I know
it's
some
got a
people.
bite. If you dilute it, it's got
Yeah.
a bite.
Yeah.
A spoonful before I go to bed, man. I want to bite this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like for lunch, what were you doing, or like a midday sort of a thing?
Okay, so something similar. Like it's not that chill, you know, just straight lentils in there, but chickpeas. You know,
Okay.
some
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
protein source
Sure.
that makes me feel a little.
It's funny because she turned me on, but in my head I was like, no, I have to have a target. That's just the way my mind
That's
was
the
working.
other thing is that all of a sudden everybody's a genius telling you what to do, and you have to know who to go to. Right? You gotta have. the
Well,
right-
again, going back to what he said, whatever works for you won't work for me. You know,
Right.
because everybody becomes a
a fact,
dietitian.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, you need to be eating this. You need to be eating
Yeah,
that. And I'm
yeah.
like, sure. You know,
You gotta figure it out.
But until I figured it all out, and a couple people, like I said, I mostly follow the guys who have fought. You know, have more fights under their belt. You know, obviously than I did, and
Yeah.
you know, if they
You were
said
smart.
like, yeah, if they told me like, don't check it too often, I didn't stare at it, of course, like every single day, but every other day I would make sure, okay, 2 days has gone by, I need to be at 50 by this day. And if I was like 50 points, I mean, I'm like, cool, that's good enough for me, you know, as long as I hit 48 by this day and 47, and I only plan to cut 3 pounds, and then boom, that was it.
And
you
that's
know?
goal setting. That's
Yeah.
super important just in general in life. You know,
Yeah.
I have a big whiteboard next to my bed. I write down goals.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I forget about it. I come back. I'm like, oh, I did this, I did this, I did this. And
Yeah.
it makes me feel good too. You
Yeah,
know,
for
and
sure.
makes me strive for more stuff.
Yeah.
it's incremental and it's achievable.
Incremental and achievable.
Right.
That's exactly what I
And
was.
you get that much further.
Mhm.
No, it's what we have to do.
Yeah,
It's how we
for sure.
operate this place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got a hold of you. It's been
Yeah.
2 weeks, but you're here. You know?
Yep.
But yeah, we're coming up on the clock. It's been a long hour and a wonderful hour with Eric Vanderlee. He's got a whole future ahead of him, so we're gonna have him back.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
has been just an eye opener right now, but you know, once we get him to that fight, so send him a fight because we want him to fight.
Yeah, chuck
Let's
himself.
do it.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
You know
And
what
there's
I mean?
plenty of them out there, so.
That's right.
You know.
And a shout out to Adam Lynn for just having a stand-up student. We really appreciate him being here, representing Subfighter MMA in Laguna Hills, and the guys, your Taekwondo studio where you teach. And what is it again? Master
Chose
Cho?
Aca-
Chose
Chose
Academy.
Academy. Yes, sir.
In Laguna Beach.
Yes. Thank
Very
you
cool.
guys so
For sure.
much for having
No,
me.
for sure.
I really
Thank you for
appreciate
being
it.
here.
Hey,
Yeah.
my pleasure.
Absolutely.
Vanderlicious.
Thank you so much.
Vanderlicious
sure,
on Instagram. I don't know if you're on anything else.
Just Instagram for
All
right
right.
now.
If you're in Amsterdam, hit him up because he'll be out there at the academy there. Whatever one. What did we talk about?
Cops Gym?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Is it Cobbs or Cops?
It's Cops with a K.
Oh, got
Yeah.
it. Like Crow Cop.
That's what the
C.
That's what the C. Yeah, whatever. I'll get to
Close
it.
enough.
Anyways, if I didn't say so before, like us, share the link, subscribe to us, check us out Wednesday at 8 because we're here. We're going to be doing MMA Jiu-Jitsu, everything here now, Wednesday at 8. No more Monday nights. If there's a Monday night, it'll be a special, but I'm taking Mondays off. So we're doing our thing from here forward on Wednesdays.
Yep.
And check out Eric and his crew down there in Laguna Hills at Subfighter MMA. Thank you
Yep.
again, buddy.
What's your Instagram again?
Vanderlicious.
Vanderlicious.
Vander
Gotcha.
Lucius, hit him up.
Cool, cool.
Hey, before we leave, Spar Stars MMA, June 16th, Friday, Tony T-Bone Steaks Padilla.
T-bone steaks.
They're
That's
going to
right.
be good fights. Commerce Casino. It was a packed house. I won't even go any further because I don't want to blow any horns, but it was packed, elbow to elbow. People were. You want to see
fun.
LA fighters fight? Come to Commerce Casino on Friday or Saturday, June 16th, I believe it is.
Saturday's probably
And
a Saturday.
We'll be there. Tony, hit me up. T-Bone Steaks. Thank you, buddy. Oh, Michael Gross, Secondhand Man. We love you, man.
Oh yeah, check them out on Instagram too.
Instagram,
Sparstars.
Sparstar MMA. I mix it up. I say put the S in there. It's Sparstar. But
Sparstar.
they're legit. We love them. And any of the fighters want to come on, hit us up at Gym Crashers.
Instagram.
JP will hit you up.
Yep. Gym.crashers on
Gym
Instagram.
Crashers. JP will set it up. Come on.
Check it out.